All right, so what we are looking at here, and yes, we are starting with lesson 8 here. Kind of seems odd, but it's a better place within our, I guess, regarding our order of events. So the big thing that we're looking at here is, let's just check, take a moment there, see if you agree with this comment here. How many of these statements are true? So read through them there, and see what you think. All right, take a moment, pause if you need to. All right, 4 plus 0, is that 4? Check. 4 times 1, is that 4? Check. 4 divided by 1, is that 4? Check. 4 times 0, yes, check. And then 1 divided by 4, yeah, remember the fraction bar is the same as the division symbol, so check. So how many of them are true? All of them are true. So the main thing that we are after here is that when we are looking at all of our different situations, even if we change the number 4 to a number 7, they're all still going to be true statements. So they're all still going to be true, no matter what we do. So what if we replace, would the number sense be true if we were to replace the number 4 with all of them there, with any other number? Yeah, they're still all going to be true here. It's not going to make a difference. Now, thinking a little sneaky here on this one. So what if we replace the 4 with a number 0? Okay, so 0 is special. You might not really thought of that, but 0 is a very special number. If we do, and we try 0 plus 0, that's fine. That's 0. 0 times 1, now it's, yeah, so that's what we're after here. Is we're not going to get the same repetition there. So 0 is different. The big thing that we're looking at is this particular guy down here. If we bring this down here, if we do 1 divided by 0, the big thing is the answer is not 0. It can't be done. We can't divide by 0, because 0 times what's going to give me 1? Nothing will. So that's the only thing that we get in there. So nothing huge, but it's something that will kind of pop up throughout your math careers. So if we replace the number 4, all right, with a letter G, all right, please write all 4 expressions. So here we go. So the idea is if we took G and added a 0 onto it, it's not going to change. Again, adding 0 onto something doesn't change the value for it. Oop, cancel. Timesing something by 1. If we times something by 1, does not change the value. If we divide something by 1, does not change the value. If we multiply something by 0, we're always going to get 0. And if we write out a division problem, 1 divided by G, then yep, it is simply a fraction. So yeah, it's the idea is we want to get used to using our variables with our numbers there. So are all these true for except when G equals 0? Like we said, G is special there. Yes, they are all, no matter what we do. So the idea of what we're after here is these are referred to as our identity properties. We're going to have different ones that we're going to come to here. I guess I shouldn't say identity property, in general, properties. And these are things that are always true in math. So the idea is if you take something and you add 0, it's not going to change it. It's going to keep it the exact same thing. That's all we want you to take away from it there. Add 0. All right. It doesn't change. That's what we want you to walk away with. Don't worry about repeating the process there. I'm not worried about that. That's what we want you to. If you add 0, it's not going to change. Just like your next property. And again, we do want to be, this is our multiplicative identity property. Okay, which means if you times something by 1, it's not going to change. So again, times, or you can say multiply, by 1, it doesn't change. We just give fancy words for it, and that's it there. Because it always happens in math, because it's always true, always, again, except for 0. 0 is our kind of thing that we take away from it. That's what we're after. So if it's always true, it is a property. So we had our multiplicative identity property. We have our additive identity property. And again, those things we saw, identity. And you think about that word identity, that's yourself. So if you add 0, you get the same thing. If you times something by 1, you get the same thing as well. So the one thing we do want to come back to is this last question. Right I'm going to come right down here, write the mathematical language for this property. If you take something and you times it by 1, you still get that original amount back. So again, it's more vocabulary here. That's what we're after. What we're going to do is we're actually going to cross out these two. I don't like those guys in there. All right, they get into something different, and that's not what we're going to get into right now. We have another phrase, something called the commutative property. And again, it's for addition or subtraction. And it simply says that, listen, if you flip the orders and change, 3 plus 4 is the same as doing 4 plus 3. 3 times 4 is the same as doing 4 times 3. When you add and you multiply, the order doesn't make a difference that goes along with it. So that's all that they want you to get away from it there. So again, just simply that when you flip the order around, it's not going to make a difference. So if we did 8 and plus 3, which is 11, it's the same as doing 3 plus 8, which is also 11. If we did 8 times 3, that's 24. And 3 times 8, if we flip the order around, that's 24 as well. So commutative flips the order. All right, but it's still true. And that's the big thing with that particular property that we are looking at. So again, vocabulary, they go through all the different phrases that we need, but that's not what I'm worried about there. All right, we'll talk more about that in class. We'll get you to apply more of them. We just want you to get the vocabulary words done. We are going to go forward here and shut things down.